Hey, this is Duke Rustfield, gonna make another bad editing video. I decided to try and make some like 5500 power score vehicles just on the fly, um, and see how different solutions can work. So this one is, I just started with 6x4 standard frame, 2x6 standard frame, um, expanded ammo pack. Which is really good about these things is for not tremendously more power score than three regular packs, or two or three regular packs. Has way more durability, like 323 durability. That's huge for an explosive module. That's only 175 ammo power score. Just to show you, um, my double Harpy Mandrake, 11,838 power score. I mount my Mandrakes on those expanded ammo packs. So, and I don't think I've ever had them blown up. They're between these wheels, hard to get to, and a little extra piece out here. But that's how confident I am in their durability, that even at very high power score, I essentially use them as a armor point. Um, so I decided to start with Fat Mans because they're just really good weapons. I really like Fat Mans. They were my first epic weapon that I bought with the no longer available pack, um, and liked them since. And that was even before they even had a perk. Um, Now they shoot faster based on you shooting. You don't even have to hit. Or no, sorry, you do have to hit. Sorry. I was thinking of something. I don't know what I was thinking of. Anyway, I'm going to use a step spider cabin just for the 12 energy. It's basically a carapace cabin, but an epic version. This is the only tank cabin in the game. That's its official type, tank cabin. Um, and this is what I got in my first pack. I used it a long, long, long time. And Step Spider is basically that in every way better. It's even smaller. And even though it's a medium, it basically behaves like a heavy cabin. So weight is not a problem for this big, bulky, wannabe heavy cabin. So I'm using armored tracks just because people complain about Goliaths, and I used armored tracks for a long time. And this obscures like half of this cabin. Um, so it's hard to hit it. And if you're using explosions, like I've said in another video, you can't hit it. Um, so I'm going to put a gun in front that acts like armor, and a gun up top, and that also acts like armor. So to actually get at this cabin is very difficult. So I've added two pieces of Steppenwolf armor, really heavy. I love these pieces. Some of the a few three-sided pieces of armor, and 3x4, just you can do a lot with them. So I wanted to get up to like 5,500. So let me grab something. I got even more room than that. So the sides do have, this is the difference in armor. Weight just doesn't matter. I got so much tonnage on this. So if you mouse over, I can add, it says tonnage underneath, in the middle there, 14,200. So that's what's provided by the cabin and having these tracks. So I can put a ton of, without even putting an engine on. So I want to help obscure that cabin a little more, protect it. and I do have some visible spaces left, mounting points. However, so what's the best way to do this? I'm not going to think too hard. Well, actually, that's not. I want to get 5,500. So, and that looks pretty cool too. Yeah. All right. So now, geez, it's like impossible to see the cabin, and I'll make it even impossibler by painting it. And I will put in Stone Death, who gives me all kinds of bonuses to cannons. So I don't have an engine, so no reload bonuses, but that doesn't matter because Fat Mans shoot pretty fast. I have very low durability, only 731, but you'll see this is a really tough vehicle, or I'm assuming, so I'm recording this as I play. So I'll watch me die in the first shot. But so let me just try and get into a game, and maybe I'll finally edit this and not have me waiting around. So F11 to show my frames per second and ping, so I'm on a good server for me. There's 7,600 power score guy, but and some bots who are high power score. So honestly, the bots are going to be scariest. They might have, so they got, looks like they have Hurricane. Not too scary. So this thing isn't even that slow. It feels quick, but it's very narrow. So let me slow down so I can aim, and they got him. Whoa, hello. Oh well. Move it, Helen. She's useless now. That's not gonna work on me. So he's trying to ram through my. So I know what that is. You know he's got goblins in front, and I don't care because I can shoot him with double cannons. Hello. Oh, he's. So I took out a bunch. He's gonna still keep trying, and now he's got nothing. And so that's why I don't care about these things. Oh my gosh, goblins. Oh my gosh, Goliaths. Whatever. Stop ramming me, jerk. So I do care about that. But anyway, I was happy with that if I hadn't gotten blocked. Should I play one more game with this? Yeah, sure. Let me get out. And see, do I want to adjust anything? No. Let me see. Oh yeah, this is, I did notice this. So that's one thing that's annoying about the ammo. It's another 3x, and so it's, you want to get it centered, and that's just for weight distribution. And you can see you want to get those so you're not either jerking forward or rocking back too much, and it's harder to tip you. Won't matter too much, but get back in the game. But I can take some shots at myself to show kind of the durability of this build, and I think it'll take a lot of hits to get through. Aiming at the side. So what's happening is my shots are being intercepted by that track. So this is, despite only 731 durability, this is me just wailing on it with double Fat Mans. And finally what happens is it just blows away that track. But that's a lot of hits. And I'll aim for the ammo. Oh, it still, jeez, didn't even take it out. There you go. So that would be a long way through. That's not how you take out a vehicle like this. Alright, pretty bad ping. Mostly 5,000 power scores, so a little on the higher side, but make up for it with my bad ping. So they're going to have auto cannons for bots and machine guns. And I'll stop to let my reticles get together. Get these guys out of the way. Aim high, and that's how you get a hit. Quick. Ooh, we got a hover guy. So he's trying to be sneaky. Let's go and make his acquaintance. So he's using crickets. Oh, and someone's coming behind me. This guy again. They're getting on a point, which is annoying, but I'm gonna fight. Aim for those guns and miss completely. Hello, 160 ping. So there you go. Oof. Okay, so we gotta go back to the base. This is not the vehicle to be doing that. Oh, who's got a lot of kills? Tra-la-la. Hello. I did take off a gun, but that's not going to matter much. Try and hit those wheels. Ugh, I suck. Nope. Nope. Okay, this ping's tough for me. I'll just ignore this now, I don't know what I'm doing. Well, it wasn't spectacular gameplay, but it shows it's a tough vehicle. Even in bad ping, it's just tough to put it down, and that's kind of its job. So I stopped the video, back up, let's make another car. Let's see, what do we want to do? We just look around. Oh yeah, I know what I wanted to do. Go the kind of other extreme. I could just hit delete. And I'm going to grab just a junky little thing. And I'm going to put a scorpion on it. And with the power score changes, it's really tough. It's tough using a scorpion. And so this thing is, you know, in a way it's a lot like a Fat Man. It's got about the same durability, has close to the same fire rate of fire, but a Fat Man has a radius explosion, and a scorpion shoots in a line, which isn't as good at low power score. And I'll show you why. So this shoots in a line, but you know, there's just, like if you shot straight through the front, there's only two things here. And a Fat Man if you shot the front, would hit this, 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 and this. So that's the difference. There's just, in high power score games, you're going to do a lot more damage with a Scorpion in general, certainly than a Fat Man. Kind of what this thing has that, let's say, a Fat Man doesn't, is its ability to snipe through. Fat Man's got to punch through using its explosion. So this is where I'm a little concerned. I guess I got plenty of tonnage. You know, clearly a lot less than what the Step Spider could carry, but since I have so little on it, so I'll just put stuff on to get me some. I think I might want to, kind of what I'm doing with these tires. The reason I have these big back. Let me see if I can even move well on this. Nope. So I'll put this up here. I need to weigh down this front. I could stick this. Let me see if I can do this. I'm going to try and stick the gun up front, use it as armor, kind of like I did with the Fat Man. But it needs a pretty wide base. So I'm going to do something like this. Oops. That's pretty good. So this is pretty stable. Should be pretty stable. I don't think I can see over that though. Yeah, I can. So cool. Yeah, it's ugly. All right. Super ugly. So I'm just going to load up some armor on it and try and make it not quite as squishy. I might try and use some scavenger, which is slightly lighter than the Steppenwolf pieces, for a little less armor. Is that going to matter much? Let's see how this thing turns. Whee. So if you can snipe stuff, explosive stuff, that's when a Scorpion, oh geez, I'm getting close to the edge here. Got an ammo pack reinforced. Stick it someplace safe. The reason I'm using 2 frames for these front tires, a frame for each, uses up a little more weight, less durability each. But since it's sitting on it, if I just have 1 frame piece and I lose it, like when that guy rammed me, he took out one of the Fat Mans. I'm not sure if he hit the frame. I didn't really look, but you got to take out both frames to kill that extremely expensive gun, which is a little more unlikely. It's not possible. Whatever, not gonna think too hard on it. Running out of power score anyway. Kind of makeshift mud flaps. I do want to worry about my center of gravity a little. This is a small little vehicle, huh? Oh, geez, I need a radar too. So I do have 1 energy. Wow. So I could use that radar detector as, I wonder if one can fit under there. Would be a nice little bumper. I don't know if it'll scrape the... Nope. So that's what I'll do. I'm gonna add even another frame. And I'll put it in between. Two by four. So that's a bumper, and it helps protect it from explosions coming in. What did I say, 5,500? Let's see. These things are really heavy though, but they're nice. I highly recommend them. I can put one of those on. Looks cool. Can't believe that thing can see about. Oh, that's right. Because the back wheels are tall, it's going to tilt. So the further back it is, it's going to be a little higher. And since it's further back, it's harder for to be shot. It's got to skim past more things. So I'm just grab a few more pieces. Sure, my favorite pieces. Stick them somewhere. There you go. Oops. So how many shots is that? 16. Can I stick on a large ammo? Let's see what power score. Yeah, I can. And this is a pimp move. Just out there for the world to see. And that's fine because it's damn durable. I could try and make more room underneath here. What would I have to do? Oh, it can fit. So, not a pimp, sorry. And what color are we going with? Cold steel. Sexy. So, yeah, this is, I'm just shoving my tiny little cabin in there, surrounding it with junk. Oh man, this is crawling. Whee! That radar is scraping a little, but I don't go so fast, so it doesn't matter too much. And anyway, let's try and get in the game. So changing my code driver, not a lot's going to help. I could, I'm just going to put him in because I still don't have the last, whatchamacallit, skill. It's like a little tractor with a particle accelerator on the front. But this is what this gun can do. Oops. Alright, so I got good ping, and that's really make or break with this gun. Most people around my power score are a little bit lower. So, thing has really got low acceleration. Big honking wheels, no power in that cabin. Move. Bot. 4 damage. So that would never happen with whatchamacallit, a cannon, regular cannon. So they're not instantaneous. Christ. 2 damage, so I'm doing great. And this is why I kind of say scorpions just aren't that, you know, I never call them seal clubbing, because they're just not designed for this power score. If you can hit a nice squishy explosives, then they're very powerful. Or did I lose my radar? Did I took it off? No wonder I stuck. So that's what I want to hit. Right there. Oh, when he moved. Ooh. Thanks. Hope I can get some cheap shots on these guys coming from behind. Don't come after me, please. Well, that was fun. So he did take off the whatchamacallit, frames at the bottom. I had multiple frames and it didn't matter. So this was kind of a bad game. Let's try it again. But that's, you know, kind of why I say, you know, people said on Reddit I saw was like, hey, I got attacked by a scorpion at real low power score. And it's like, you know, especially with the PS change, it's just not, you know, not that great. I mean, you can. This is the test, and you know, I'm aiming right at explosive, or pretty close, but it's a particle accelerator. It's great at. It's not even great at that. Oops. It can do really well. Don't get me wrong. 162 ping. Mostly my power score lower, but I think just the Fat Man or whatever cannons are much better, just way better. You have to play a very stilted kind of style to make use of this, you know. And hope people get out of your way. I mean, you can shoot this absurdly long range, which is great. But I did make myself pretty low to the ground, so I can't shoot, you know, over my team. You know, this is just a 3600. I didn't forget to put on radar again, huh? Just fail. Yep. And that's a 3600 PS weapon losing to some junky rares, and that's pretty typical. You know, partly this isn't a great build, but no, he did have an epic, but it just kind of shows it's not that weapon. So it's doable, but it's just not. Even if it was, he didn't take out the frames, he took out the gun, and this is the toughest thing on this car. But you saw when I was trading fire or even shooting in tests, you do some really low damage shots for a 3600 PS weapon. It's great at taking out gigantic vehicles. So let me make something else. I wonder if I could make my leg drake. This is, I'll have to put on a cheaper cabin. It's still way too high. Strip this thing down. I don't think I'm going to get that low though. Maybe with, it's probably the, getting close. I think I need that. Take off everything. That's too expensive. And replace it with cheesy stuff. This is all held together by that. This is really fragile. I don't think it's even gonna change controls. Wow. So technically it can work. So I'm trying to push this weight forward a little bit. No decor, too expensive. So this can theoretically work. Little over, that's alright. Let's color this guy up. Let's go ocean. Now we'll change in Hans because it gives durability to legs, a little bit of vehicle, and mandrake accuracy, though that doesn't matter too much. So this is bringing another gigantic weapon into low power score. And hopefully I don't fall over in the setup. So I'm higher than most. So this is using wheels in a wacky way and changing my configuration. I didn't center that hover, so I'm kind of gimpy here. But what this is doing is taking an artillery and making it usable point blank like that. And it's just insanely destructive, just crazy. But you know, you can see how I can't move worth a damn. Oh. Someone's coming behind him. So this is going to be rough. How did I not hit them? Now I'm in trouble. Yeah. So yeah, that's how you beat crazy builds like that, or the Scorpion, whatever. If you let me sit in back and lob mandrake shells at you, you're gonna die. But you don't have to. I'm curious what that guy's doing. That's what I want to do, is center that. That'll help a bit. I wonder if I can scoot this in any. Nope. I can't. No, so do I have any? Okay, just use that. Everything held together with duct tape. I'm trying to cover up that ammo, but it might make me tilt backwards. So this is a really precarious balance. What is this thing doing? I don't think I need that much, so I'll swap it out for 2 half walls. Compromise. And change colors. Let's go this weird thing. It's all beat up. But this is fun. You know, first off, trying to make strange builds and trying to make them work. If you can get, you know, the drop on someone, you can really annihilate them. But you can see just getting around is not easy. If you take off a leg, you take off the hover, the thing is crippled. Can't do anything. But for a 55, 56, whatever, 100 power score vehicle, it has a tremendous amount of firepower. You know, that's just nuts. Super high ping, couple 7,000, 6,000 PS guys, so this is likely not going to be my game. The ping here definitely doesn't matter as much with this vehicle. I want to stick with my team because I suck. Yeah. This is not a lone wolf build. Definitely support. Just gonna aim over there somewhere. No, and you know, do an extra couple hundred damage blind. That's not bad. Oh yeah. We got too many people going ahead solo. It's not working. They're all hanging back and supporting each other. Ah, bad bounce. Terrain caused me to dip. Geez, they're all just camping their base. It's working. Alright, enough of that. So what else should we build? Let's go back to this. Look at the weapons we got. People were complaining about autocannons, but let me see if I can make something with Reapers. I wonder if I can, how much 2 Reapers will set me back. Nope. Can I make something with 1 Reaper? Is it worth it? Don't really think it is. But let's see, what should I do? I'm more concerned with whatchamacallit, ammo. That's the big drain. So I'm gonna use Harpy, even though it's really expensive and doesn't have very good soft stats. Let me see, let me just put some wheels on, see what I have in terms of power score. Ammo. Wow. That's expensive. Tons and tons and tons of ammo. I'm gonna do like before, raise up the back end a little so I can actually hit stuff. And that gun down. I could put some smaller wheels on, but I run the risk of losing them. So it just looks like I can maybe mount them further back. That's a lot of recoil. So, alright, be wacky. Jeez. And if I stick a radar on, that's basically it. So 0 armor. Oops. It's super weird, but moving the wheels further back means it tilts forward a little more, a tiny bit, so I can actually hit stuff in my face, maybe. Let's try it. Let's just see. I'm goofing around. Spider webs. No, that's stupid. Honeycombs. Change this to my machine gun co-driver and try and get into a fight. And doing what I have been doing is trying to stay back and just helping out. That's a lot of ammo. I can probably just keep shooting for the whole match. Yeah, I probably don't need this much ammo. This is a lot. I'll be dead long before I ever use this. Alright, so let's do that. We'll take off one of them. And have non-zero armor. And again, I'm going with Steppenwolf because it's the most efficient in terms of power score to amount of health you get. So I'm just going to be lazy for the umpteenth time. Can this fit on here anywhere? Mm-mm. I don't want to put anything more back here. It's going to cause me to bounce. Actually, I might be able to stick. It doesn't matter. So give me some heavy junk up here. Trying to weigh down the front. Looks really bad. Can't block my gun. Perfect. Masterpiece. So mostly I'm just adding weight. You know, I'm trying to keep this thing. This gun has crazy recoil. It's sitting at the very back, so it makes it hard for me to stay put. Be bouncing all over the place. If I lose a wheel or lose this train plow, I'm going to be really in trouble. But inadvertently, this is fairly well protected. She's trying to drive against that recoil of the gun. I'm so slow. Yeah, this is not a particularly agile build, and my guns are sitting on 2 giant bombs. My gun is sitting on 2 giant bombs, but each of those bombs has about half the durability of this whole car. Oof. Oh yeah, I'm scraping. That's what that is. Between the junk in front. Yeah. So bad ping, but they're pretty low power score. The bots have drones. So I've got the Harpy cabin just for that extra ammo, and it's a lot, you know. Take that damage. I have infinite ammo. Anyway, infinite ammo is running lower. Whoa. Take advantage of that, whoever heated him up. Take a direct double cannon shot and he's still ticking. So I'm just going to move around a little bit. Lost something, not sure what. Whoa. My gun pushed me back. I wasn't even driving backwards. Ooh. Hello, hover. Ooh. And he loses the gun. Are those corvos? That guy did good. Oh, he's gonna win too. So you can see what he did. He just mounted him way back. To make it harder to hit them. but we're gonna lose. This isn't bad. I'll try one. So what was going wrong with this? Did scrape a little. It's about as protected as I can get. Maybe I could stick, instead of that there, put some junk. Good enough. Oops. Yeah, change paint. Volcanic. But yeah, that Corvo guy was just doing what I was doing, you know. But, you know, he was sitting back instead with a legendary. He was using, was it 3 epics and a rare cabin. So, and it's not like I was instantly better than him or he was instantly better than me. There's different ways you can approach it. I think Corvos are pretty terrible weapons. Or, this is maybe not terrible, but they're certainly not the best. And they don't have all these cool co-driver skills that help machine guns and miniguns. So, I know we're going to be a bad ping, yeah. So, let's see. But I'm volcanic, so that's my advantage. So he's got what, wasps or maybe crickets underneath that, underneath his Goliaths. So you can just push those things around. I know people will get scared of them, but it's just not that big a deal. Goliath, that is. There's a wheel. This is bad. I'm so unbalanced now. But I'm still scary. Not that scary. So that's a nice little build. Low mounted, some cannons. But you can see these are all pretty cheesy weapons. Not cheesy, but just rares, you know, and people are doing fine with them. I'm using a legendary, didn't do anything spectacular, because then I have to skimp on everything else, you know. The fact that this gets knocked off and then I start you know, I'm just gonna go flying backwards with recoil is a problem, but it's what I chose to use with this gun. You could mount it differently, but whatever. Let's grab something else. So I've been mostly conservative except for the first twin Fat Men. So I know there's a kind of a sale on tacklers right now. So I am going to, oops. Icebox doesn't get a lot of love. It's a tough to use cabin just because of its shape. But it's got that amazing perk on it. You know, 15% damage bonus. That's really good to fixed weapons, and tacklers are fixed weapons. So this will be the first time I put a generator on any of these Lobe builds. So what I mostly want to do is just kind of separate them a bit, so like one cannon can't take them all out. The downside is they can't. It's tougher for them all to aim at the same thing unless I'm just straight on. Whew, that's expensive. So do I want to do this? So I've changed in seeing what it costs in terms of power score. I changed up so that I'm using those guns as armor. Wow. I got nothing. Well, let's try it. Let's see what it can do. So if I don't shoot, so that's why I'm not too worried about radiators or coolers, because I want to be kind of toggling fire now and then. It's a long gap. Does it have to be all the way cooled down? Yep. Maybe not. Let's see. No, that's like a second or two after you stop firing. But yeah, this is capable of quite a lot of burst damage. Or I should say, it's not burst damage, it's sustained damage. Burst is like cannons or crickets and such. And you could also use, this would be great for crickets, the icebox cabin. But I know these guns are really, tacklers are really cheap right now. Look at all those bombs. Good ping. About the same power score. So I got nothing on this vehicle, no radar, no nothing. So there's another guy who's using kind of what I was using earlier. I'm a bit concerned about bots. I don't want to get a bunch of cannon hits from bots. What are you shooting at, bot? It's the downside of not having any radar. What the hell's going on? Wow, lost damn near everything. Now I did lose everything, but that's okay. So yeah, he's got two, I mean he fused little boys, but so rare guns versus epic, it's fine. I did decent damage, but it wasn't enough. So I think this is just too flimsy. If I'm going to use it, I'm going to need, I'd probably have to do something like that, and then just move them around. But I don't feel like using machine guns. But it's doable. You know, you'd probably want to be a little bit higher. Let me see how. That's pretty cheap for an epic. I'm going to stay with the cabin. You know, I'll use a towel. So I should use this. It's super cheap. Nah, I don't feel like driving a towel. What are some good fixed weapons? Could use defenders. That's way cheaper, jeez. even incinerator works, but yeah, I've got some good pyre builds, but I don't feel like making one. What weapons do I want to use? I'll try to use impulse. Really the only cabins that are going to help are like favorite and harpy. Harpy would help a lot. Ghost could help some if I got close enough, but I wonder if I could stick those underneath this. No, don't like that. I'm going to try and make kind of a fast harpy. That's what I'm thinking. Let's see what this, in terms of cost, I don't know if I can do 2. Oops. Because these guys need ammo, and they need radiators. It's really expensive. Let's see. So these guys have a goofy perk that contradicts the radiator perk. I kind of do think they need, the impulses need a little help. Do I need this much? That's a lot of ammo. So if I took this off and went with like a ghost, I wonder if I would have more ability to do anything. I'm not sure if this is particularly worth it versus the Harpy. It's a little bit cheaper and I can cloak. Let me grab some armor. Good old favorite. Like every vehicle of mine has these stupid pieces everywhere. I just loves them. So I want to stick. I want things to be around that can help intercept explosions coming. That, I don't want to think too hard though. Move this back wheel back a little. Move it back further. Make it lighter. So it's fairly stable. I don't want to block my shots though. This is a lot lighter. I'm a little worried about losing these wheels. If I hit anything, I'm going to ramp up. So I'm not sure I like that. Oops. I could use a... Yeah, that's it. Good enough. It's going to recharge really slow. Cloak. So the idea was to cloak in, take advantage of the ghost perk. And then let loose. That's a fair amount of damage. Oops. It kind of makes it a little top heavy and kind of wobbly, but what it does is it can potentially intercept explosions further out, but vehicles real close up could be a problem, but they'll definitely be a problem anyway. really like to get, let's see, I want to get an engine to help cool down, but that's a lot, a cheetah. Oh, jeez. So I want to try and add a generator. Oops. Just placeholder. I think this is, no, there's no space. So I can get really risky and have it sitting right up there. That's too tall. So what's the difference with, we count, that overheats so much faster. I can use a hot red. Give me a little bit. It's a fairly light engine as well. Don't have any PS left for any kind of radar. Yep. It's risky. So what am I going to do here? I'm gonna just put this back on to try and get that. Again, not a good front line attacker. As soon as you go uncloaked, the charge stops building. You know, compared to Icebox, which has a 15% constant damage boost. You know, I don't think Ghost is all that hot. It's really meant for these kind of hit and run. Decent ping. So I was gonna just say I don't want to go through the city because I've got fragile guns and I want to hit and run. Don't have the greatest radar. Don't have a radar detector. But I spawned right here. So I'll let those guys lead the charge. And I'm going to cloak and not run into. Hey, that was pretty cool. Oh, he took off one of my guns. This guy's tricky. Well, at least I did a lot of damage. So it was a theory that worked, I think. Maybe not ideal execution. I'm going to do a lot of damage. Let's try it one more time. Let me take a look at this. So if I just do that, close to the same. I can do less cool things. But I can add another one of these on here. Let's get some quickie armor on so I can get going. Oops. No radar again. This looks kind of cool. It won't do great up close, but it can really span. I wonder if this can fit in between. Yeah. Oops. Mm-mm. Plenty of room. We got weird empty space underneath there. I can do that. Again, it's just trying to block stuff coming from the back, which isn't going to happen a lot. Hooray, festive. So this doesn't do as well up close. Another support build. Less surprising than even the last one. I could stick an engine on, but it would do almost nothing. Zero energy, like hardcore. Pretty close to the 5500 power score. You know, so compared with the Scorpion, you know, this build would demolish that Scorpion build. The only chance it would have is if it could snipe that ammo box, which would destroy the guns it's sitting on that are on top. So a lot of standard builds here, Goliaths, with whatchamacallit, shotguns. Don't recommend that. I did lose a wheel though. I don't think I did a whole lot. Pretty bad ping, but it's a fun little build.